Welcome to Create and Thrive by AdSense, a series where we inspire creators, publishers, and entrepreneurs to bring their business to the next level. I'm your host, Dani, and today we've invited Vivian too, also known as Your Rich BFF, a former Wall Street trader turned personal finance expert, host, and New York Times best-selling author. With her personal finance expertise, Vivian will discuss creator monetization and provide tips on how you can diversify your income as a creator. This series is brought to you by Google AdSense, a platform that helps you earn money from your content easily. Whether you're an independent creator or a larger business, AdSense displays relevant ads from advertisers on your website, games, or other content. If you already have a website, great, you can start earning today. If you don't have a website, you can create one with one of our well-known partners and begin your journey to monetization. And with that, we're ready to hear from your Rich BFF, Vivian.
Hi besties, I'm Vivian too, aka your Rich BFF and your favorite Wall Street girly. And I am a digital creator with over 7 million followers across social media, a New York Times bestselling author, and host of the chart-topping podcast, Net Worth and Chill. I teach people all over the world how to better budget, save, and invest their money. And today we're going to do a deep dive into the world of creator finances and creator monetization. Content creation is such a powerful tool that can propel your business very, very far, but you need to have the resources to do so. When I started Your Rich BFF, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. And frankly, I didn't even know I could make money making internet videos or typing stuff online. So I want to make sure that other digital creators are able to take advantage of these tips and tools way earlier than I did. So why don't we talk a little bit about being a creator? Being a creator is like being a superstar athlete. Like an athlete, digital creators work very, very hard and have the potential to make really great money. However, the cash coming in is very unpredictable and sometimes not very dependable. So think about it like this. If you have a regular schmegular job, a W-2 job, like I did before I became a creator, I could rely on my paycheck coming into my bank account every 2 weeks. Essentially, I would get paid twice a month. And when that would happen, I would know roughly how much money would be entering my bank. However, now I'm a creator. There are months that I get paid a lot of money, and there are months where I get paid no money. So we have to make sure that we have a system to keep that money coming in the door, and be especially risky if you are a digital creator who's only making money one way. Take NFL players, for example. They can be on top of the world, making millions of dollars every year, winning the Super Bowl. But if they have a bad season or two, or they get injured, they can quickly be forgotten about and dropped from their team, ultimately ending their career. And this goes similarly for creators because algorithms, people's interests online, and content trends are always changing. So how do you make being a creator a sustainable side hustle or job? We have to make sure that we are irreplaceable. And how do you do that? By diversifying your income. I talk so much online about diversifying your investments and diversifying your portfolio because it is so important to make sure that you have a bunch of different things that you could potentially succeed in. And you want to do the exact same thing with your creator career. So for example, with a portfolio, you're going to want to have some stocks in there. You're going to want to have some bonds in there. You're going to maybe want to have some exposure to domestic companies as well as international ones. You want to have all of these different things happening at once. And that is way, way safer than putting all of your money into one stock or one company because it gives you exposure. In the same way, when you are a creator, you want to make sure that you have ways to make money that are completely separate from each other so that you have a multitude of varying streams of income. This way, if any one stream were to slow down, you still have the others to help support you. And back onto my athlete analogy, think about it like this. There is a crazy stat that says players in the NBA who retire, many of which, after their time in the NBA, are bankrupt within 5 years. However, when you look at some of the biggest names, the most successful, it's because they have income coming through different sources. So think about people like Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron James or the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. Not only were they making basketball money, they've got shoe money, they've got endorsements money, they've got clothing money, they've got all of these different ways that they are making money. They're speaking, they're consulting, they're investing, they're doing everything. And that's exactly what I want you to do when it comes to diversifying your creator income. So our main focus today, we're going to be talking about some of the easiest and most sustainable streams of income available to you online. Let's go to our very first option. So this is something that is so easy to do, and I highly recommend it. Get paid for your content that already exists. A lot of social media platforms have creator programs now that reward you for creating content that gets views and engagement. And why do they do that? They do that because they want you to work hard to make sure more eyeballs are staying on that platform. And that's awesome. But it does mean you have to stay on the content hamster wheel. You're pretty much only as good as your last post. It's still a great way to make money, but keep that in mind. The second option you have here is using something called Google AdSense. If you have a website or a blog that you're using to support your existing creator career or your business, Google AdSense is an amazing way to create passive income on your channels. Not only are you able to make money from a website that already exists, Google AdSense lets website publishers in the Google network of content sites serve text, images, video, or interactive media advertisements that are targeted to the site content and audience. This is very little additional work for you. However, you're going to be able to start making money for a website that's already hosting your information. And this is a great way to create passive income. Yes, it is scalable. It is passive. You don't have to do that much on top of what you're already doing. And two, the more people that come to your website, the more Google AdSense is going to be able to share some of that advertising revenue with you. So I highly encourage you guys to check it out. On to step 2 of how to create money as a creator, brand partnerships. I know this one is one that gets a lot of question marks and is very interesting to so many creators because it is incredibly lucrative and it's very well known. But we do have to address that this type of income requires a little bit more legwork. And if you're not working, you're not earning. So when it comes to brand partnerships, brands are constantly looking for creators to tell their story and showcase their products and services. And maybe a decade ago, they're reaching out to celebrities and stars on TV. But these days, given how many eyeballs are online, they also have large budgets carved out for digital talent. This means if you post content in a certain niche or editorially recommend brands you like in your content, there's a good chance you might have the opportunity to work with some of these companies in a paid capacity. My big recommendation here is to make sure your email is super duper easy to find on any of your social channels as well as your website, and to speak with other creators in your industry or check online to ensure you're obtaining a fair rate for your work. I do want to give a quick example. When I first started my creator career, I was offered the opportunity to do a brand deal, and they asked me how much for a 3-video series. And I was so scared. I had no idea what to ask for, and I grossly undercharged. I ended up doing all of that work for that brand and transparently not making enough money to really cover the hours I put in and the hard work that I was putting in to create that content. What I ended up doing was after that deal was finished, I then spoke with a bunch of other creators who were working with that company and asked them what they were charging. Based on their following size, based on their engagement levels, I was then able to back into a number that was significantly more competitive for the amount of engagement, views, clicks I was providing for them. And that felt like a lot more fair going forward. But instead of just promoting other people's brands, another way that you can create income for yourself as a creator or a small business is selling your own products or subscriptions. So, selling your own products and subscriptions may be a natural assumption to creating income online. However, you want to make sure that you're creating something that feels natural to your brand and has minimal production costs, because you don't want to actually have costs that are so high that you can't create a margin that's healthy enough for you to run that business. So some of the popular things that online creators often sell are exclusive content, so something behind a paywall, courses, beauty products, retail merchandise such as clothing and homeware, as well as other physical tangibles like books. While creating the product itself, thinking of the marketing around the product and ultimately rolling out the launch may feel like a daunting task and a lot of work. The beauty of a physical product or subscription service is the fact that it is scalable. So, selling 1 unit of your lip gloss is essentially the same amount of work as selling thousands of units. So, once you actually put in the hard work, you'll be able to likely make money on that product or that subscription or that service for the long haul. What I will say is, do not use this as an opportunity to cash grab. I'm not going to name names, but I'm sure you've seen quite a few celebrities who've rolled out everything from beverages to beauty to clothing to jewelry to fragrances. And suddenly you're like, wait, what does this person actually know about any of this stuff? When you are a creator and you are rolling out a product or a subscription or a service, you want to make sure that it really makes sense for you. I, as someone who creates financial money content, would be unlikely to roll out a beauty product unless it was in partnership with a beauty brand, unless it was a cost-effective beauty product. However, if you're a beauty influencer, that may be the natural next progression. However, it would be a little weird for a beauty influencer to write a book about personal finance. So again, just make sure whatever you are rolling out actually makes sense for your business, because you want to make sure that it feels natural and that it doesn't feel like a scam. Up next, an income stream that not many people think about: consulting. And while this may come as a shock, legacy brands aren't as savvy online as you might think. While many creators have built their businesses from the ground up, relying heavily on social media and the digital ecosystem, brands often struggle to make the same connection to their viewers, followers, and ultimately customers. As such, being a digital creator may mean you have expertise in this specific field. And believe me when I say, brands are more than happy to pay for that subject matter expertise. As they're launching new brands, as they are thinking about rolling out products or updating their branding, they want to get a pulse on their consumer, and you might be able to help them navigate these changes and updates through your experience and your knowledge. A few great examples are the creators who work in marketing and create videos like how I would change this brand's logo if I was in charge. In some cases, they've actually been able to be consultants for those brands afterwards. Talking about your favorite brands can actually lead to opportunities with them. And as for pricing, think about requesting a per hour rate. Another great example is if you identify with a specific group. So another great example, if you identify as part of the LGBTQ community, you might be able to consult ahead of Pride Month. During March, April, May, ahead of June, there are going to be lots of brands, lots of companies who are looking to roll out Pride Month messaging, and you are going to be able to help them be tactful and smart when speaking to that community. Not only does this mean truly better products for your community consuming them, but also it means that you are going to help them avoid any of those pitfalls and issues and get ahead of them. So this is a really great way if you are a woman, a person of color, someone who's an immigrant, someone who might have a certain identity that brands want to speak to and don't really know how. You can give your voice and lend your knowledge so that they're able to do so effectively and tweak their branding and messaging so that it makes sense. So consulting is another really great way to have a diversified income stream coming in for you while helping brands make smarter choices. And last, but certainly not least, affiliate marketing. A lot of people have talked about affiliate marketing in the past, and they make it sound so good and so easy. It almost sounds a little too good to be true. However, it is not. It is a great avenue for passive income. However, it's not for everyone. You certainly do need to have an existing platform. And why that existing audience is so important is that if they come to you for recommendations when you naturally want to recommend a product or service, there are great ways for you to earn a commission on sales that you drive. This can be anything from a cute pair of shoes, a new lip gloss, to hotel stays and spa treatments. So everything that runs the gamut from products all the way to services. Some platforms that offer affiliate marketing include Rakuten, Like to Know It, Shop Your Likes, and Amazon. Normally, all you have to do is apply for their affiliate program. This is pretty simple. You would share your social channels, your websites, what type of content you create. You'd submit examples of what and where you'd likely be posting. And once you are actually approved and onboarded, you'll have access to a server where you'll be able to create affiliate links. And these special links will give you credit for driving sales and thus give you a commission for any traffic and business you direct to these retailers. So something that's really powerful and that I've done in my business is using affiliate partners to showcase more of my lifestyle. So in my in-feed content, I normally do a lot of finance-focused content, and I certainly have affiliate partners when I'm driving traffic to their website. You can get paid for a per click, you can get paid for a per conversion, but in particular on my stories or any of my Snapchat or Pinterest or anything like that, when I am creating a video and I'm wearing this cute green shirt, I can actually link back to this cute green shirt and share a URL, a special URL. And if someone clicks on that special URL, I can get paid for someone purchasing this cute green shirt. This is a great way to not only engage with your audience at a deeper level so that they know a little bit more about your personality and your lifestyle, but also is a great way to create passive income that you don't have to do too much more. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific post dedicated to what you're wearing that day, but it can truly be what you are wearing in your existing content. So again, very easy, simple, and shouldn't take up too much of your time. And to close us out, what I will say is this. Thank you all so much for listening and spending this time with me. Being a digital creator is navigating the wild, wild west. So yes, it is okay to feel very overwhelmed and sometimes a little stressed about creating money online. There are certainly ways to be able to do this as a side hustle part-time. And then once you are ready to feel like you can take it full-time, there are opportunities to make sure that you can sustain your living as well. I hope you're able to walk away with some tangible tips today that you can use to help expand your business. Being a digital creator is all about evolving with the times and expanding your business by using tools that are already out there, taking advantage of the content that you're already creating. By diversifying your streams of income within your creator business, you're not only going to be able to make more money, but you'll help solidify your business and keep making money over the long term, because it's not about going fast. It's all about going far. Thank you again for joining me, and you can find me online. See you soon. Bye, besties.
That's it for today's episode of Create and Thrive by AdSense. Thank you to Vivian for the incredible tips on how creators can monetize and diversify their content using platforms like Google AdSense. Let's take a moment to share an inspiring story that highlights why Google AdSense is a game changer for creators. Lisa Washington, a mom and veteran, started a blog to share her experiences as a mother and a real estate agent. Despite getting followers, she initially struggled to make money from ads. Then she discovered Google AdSense, and in just 4 months, her ad revenue jumped from $0 to almost $3,000 per month. This success allowed her to focus on creating content, expand to new websites, and pursue blogging full-time. Nowadays, her blog, called Of Life and Lisa, continues to bring in passive income for her and her family. Lisa's story shows how Google AdSense can help you monetize your passion, giving you the freedom to focus on what you love. If you're ready to diversify your revenue streams, head over to adsense.google.com to get started. Thank you for watching and see you next time.